Hello. Let's answer number 9 thus 25. Absolute value is the numerical value of a number without its sign. Absolute value can represent the distance on a number line between a number and 0. Using the looking inside strategy for solving equations from chapter 3, solve 3x minus 5 is equal to 16. Okay, so how do we solve this? So when we have an absolute value equation, there are two possibilities, that this inside will be positive, okay, or it is negative. When you talk about absolute value, let's say you have an absolute value of x is equal to a specific number. Your value of x here could be negative or positive. So in here, there are two possibilities when we have absolute value of 3x minus 5 is equal to 6. There is the first possibility where your 3x minus 5 is greater than 0 or positive. And therefore, we can solve 3x minus 5 is equal to 16. So observe that I did not change the sign because it is positive. And then how to solve this? You add 5 on both sides. And therefore, you can cancel 5 here. That's equal to 0. And therefore, you are left with 3x on the left side and you get 21 on the right side. You divide both sides by 3. And then you can cancel 3. That is equal to 1. And therefore, your x is equal to 21 divided by 3 is 7. That would be your first value of x if if 3x minus 5 is positive. What if 3x minus 5 is less than 0 or negative? Okay, so if it's negative, then we say it is negative 3x minus 5 is equal to 16. Now, why do we have negative here? Because we say that 3x minus 5 is less than 0 and therefore it's negative. In order to make this negative, the shortcut will be you just change the sign. This will be negative 3x and this will be positive 5. Okay. Observe that our equation, okay, is negative 3x plus 5 is equal to 16. Now observe that if I multiply, we have a negative 1 here. If I multiply that to 3x, this will become negative 3x. I multiply negative 1 to negative 5, this will become positive 5. Therefore, this is our equation now, if 3x minus 5 is less than 0, or if it is negative. Now, what we do is to subtract both sides by 5, and then we can cancel positive 5 and negative 5, that is equal to 0. And therefore, we have negative 3x on the left side, and then 16 minus 5 will be positive 11. We divide both sides by negative 3. So we can cancel negative 3 and negative 3, that is equal to 1. Therefore, we are left with x on the left side and negative 11 over 3 on the right side. So this is our answer if our 3x minus 5 is a negative. So there are two possible answers for number 25. For number 26, let me turn the page. Okay, let me focus. Let's focus. Hopefully it works. Okay, Henry is riding his bike along a straight road when he gets a call from his mom asking where he is. Henry says he is 7 miles from home. For letter A, draw a number line with the integers from negative 10 to positive 10 representing the road Henry is traveling along. Okay, and then we are to place Henry's home at 0. So we'll mark this at 0. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's put that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is 10. And then on the left side, that's negative. So negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is negative 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's negative 10. So we will mark 0. So we will place Henry's home at 0. So this is home for Henry. And here, we will mark the position or positions on the road number line. This is our number line, and this is representing the road where Henry could be when his mom called. According to the problem, Henry says he is 7 miles from home. So if this is home, he could be 7 miles going to the right side, to the east, and 7 miles going to the left side, the west. So since he is 7, from home we will count 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Henry should be somewhere here, and that is at coordinate 7. If he is on the left side, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Henry could also be on this side, and that is negative 7. So, using the absolute value to write an equation giving Henry's possible location. So, how do we use our absolute value? So, we have absolute value like this is equal to whatever the position there. So, since we know that 7 is constant based on the 7 miles from home, whatever value here, that would be x. We will assume x is the coordinate of Henry, and he is 7 miles from home. That's why we have 7. Now, how do we solve this? If x is less than 0 or negative, we write negative x is equal to 7. Multiply this by negative 1 both sides so we can cancel the negative sign in here and here. And therefore, x will be negative 7 because negative 1 times 7 is negative 7. If x is greater than 0 or positive, then therefore we have x is equal to 7. So we will not put negative there because x is positive. Therefore, these are the answers from the given equation. Okay, so in number 27, there's an additional information. Henry continues along his route when his friend Emerson calls asking where he is. Henry replied, "I am 3 miles east of my house." "Great," says Emerson. "I am just 2 miles away. I'll see you soon," and hangs up. Now, we are to draw a number line making Henry's position and Emerson's possible positions. So again, we will mark this 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we'll mark this negative 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, negative 10. So again, our home is at 0, Henry's home. Now, according to 27, problem 27, Henry said, he is 3 miles east of my house. So if this is home, and east is going to the right, so this is the east direction. This is the west direction. And therefore, if he is 3 miles away from home, we would know that 1, 2, 3, this is where we could find Henry. Okay? And based on another information, when Emerson said, "I am just 2 miles away," 2 miles away from where? It could be he is saying that he is 2 miles away from Henry. In that case, if this is Henry's position and Emerson is 2 miles away, he could be 2 miles away going to the east or 2 miles away going to the west. So the most possible answer would be going to the east, 2 miles. So this is where Emerson will fall. Or going to the west, 2 miles. This is where Emerson will fall. So, E, not H, sorry. So let's change that to E for Emerson. So these are the two possible positions of Emerson from Henry, which is 2 miles. Now we are to write an equation that can be solved to determine where Emerson possibly be. So to write an inequality equation, so we know that 2, the value 2 and 3 here are constant. So in order to know, there is 2 miles away, so the distance, absolute value is the distance of Henry, distance of Erickson from Henry is 2. So how do we get the distance? That would be, because Henry is at 3 coordinates, we will just subtract Emerson's position minus 3. Or we can write the absolute value of 3 minus Emerson's position, that will be equal to 2. Now, how do we solve this? Okay, for the first one, if we have E minus 3 absolute value, this value inside could be positive or negative. So we can write E minus 3 is greater than 0. That's positive. So we can say that E minus 3 is equal to 2. So adding 3 on both sides, we cancel 3. Therefore, E is equal to 2 plus 3 is 5. That's why this is the correct answer. But if E minus 3 is less than 0 or negative, we write negative E minus 3 is equal to 2. And then we will write negative E plus 3 is equal to 2. Because we will distribute negative 1 to E and negative 1 to negative 3. That's why it becomes negative and positive. We'll deduct 3 on both sides. So we can cancel 3 and negative 3. That's equal to 0. Therefore, our equation will be negative E is equal to 2 minus negative 3 is negative 1. And therefore, when we multiply this by negative 1 on both sides, we can cancel the negative sign. It will become positive. So we say that E is equal to positive 1. So that is the other position. Okay, in other words, okay, we have 2 answers. That's for 5 and 1. But how do we use this to solve, to show? If 3 minus E is greater than 0 or positive, we write 3 minus E is equal to 2. And then we subtract 3 on both sides. We can cancel this. And therefore, we got negative 3. 2 minus 3 will be negative 1. Again, we multiply the whole equation by negative 1. So we can cancel the negative here. Negative times negative is positive. Therefore, E is equal to, that will be positive 1. On the other hand, if 3 minus E is less than 0 or negative, okay, we get 3 minus E multiplied by negative 1 is equal to 2. Then we apply distributive property again. Okay, the shortcut method is just to change this sign. It will become negative 3. This will become positive E is equal to 2. We add 3 both sides. We cancel positive and negative 3 because that is equal to 0. And therefore, E is equal to 2 plus 3 is 5. So again, we have same answer, even if we use either this equation or this equation. Okay.